We are making my Peter Paul Mounds cake topping and the icing that goes on top. It is in the Master Cookbook on page 96, and it is so yummy, and I haven't made one in a very long time. I don't think I've made this for y'all since 2021. So we're going to get it started. It is delicious, and I think you'll love it. So the first thing you do is you make a cake, a chocolate cake, devil's food, okay? You can make my homemade or you can make it out of a box. Today I did the box to make it easy. You can do either one. And we're going to put some holes in it, of course, so that this will go down in there good. But I got some more time to do that in a minute. We're going to get over here and start the coconut topping. And we are going to cut a piece before we go off of here. So for the coconut topping, I'm going to start it over here on the left. And you're going to use a cup of sugar. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. You're going to use a cup of milk. And you're going to let that come to a boil. Then you're going to add coconut and marshmallows. Now, I tell you to use 12 large marshmallows or 120 small marshmallows. And so we're just going to bring this milk to a boil right quick. And this is going to come together pretty quick. So you're making 2 toppings from scratch. All right. So while that heats up, we're going to go over here and we're going to start our icing ingredients. And for our icing, it's fudge, really. You use a half cup of salted butter, and you make it just like you do fudge. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on low temperature and let this half stick of butter be melted. Now, this is the chocolate that goes on top. So I'm making both of these in a non-stick pot because they're like candy. Both of them are, or icing. Now, for the icing, you're going to use 2 cups of sugar. And you're going to mix it with your cocoa. There's 2 cups. And you're going to use 2 tablespoons of Hershey's cocoa. This is starting to simmer a little. I'm going to turn it down just a hair while we get our cocoa in here and get it mixed up. I've not seen y'all in forever. A lot of y'all have been wondering where we are. We have been on vacation, and boy, was it wonderful. We really enjoyed our vacation, so we're feeling refreshed and great. I don't really tell you if it's heaping or not, but I would think it would be. I don't say heaping tablespoons, but if you want it to be pretty chocolatey, you know, you want to get some, you want to get it in there good. So we're good and rested. Now, that gets our icing, sugar, and cocoa. Whoa. And our butter got hot. So I am going to just let this sit here. Turn this off for a minute because this is candy. You don't want to do too many things at one time. And now this is our milk and sugar, and it's getting foamy on the top and starting to come to a boil. See that? And that's what you want it to do. Once it starts to boil like that, then you're going to add your marshmallows. Let me make sure that's what I tell you to do. Bring sugar and milk to a boil, add the coconut marshmallows, and then return to a boil. So here's one of those. And let's get another one. Kind of heaping. And a few to grow on. always.
That was exactly 120.
Yes, close enough. And then coconut. How much coconut? 12 ounces.
Oh.
Is that the whole pack? The pack is 14. That means I really probably need to open a new bag. I had some miscellaneous ones I was going to use, but we might want to open a new bag to make sure we get, woo, that's getting crazy. Crazy. That looks good, don't it? I'm surprised this don't have butter in it, but it don't. This is 14 ounces in here, so I'm going to use most of it, but leave a little bit in the bottom. And now we're going to stir that up. And it says you're going to bring it back to a boil once this gets put in there. If you're just coming in, we are making a mound cake. Boy, these were popular. They were called Peter Pan Mounds cake.
Peter Paul.
Peter Paul. What did I say?
Peter Pan Mound.
Really? Peter Paul Mounds cake. Back in the 70s, they were real popular. And so there was a reason why they were popular, and it is a good cake. And easy to make. They're not hard to make. All right, so we're going to let that come back to a boil. And I think it will come to a boil if it was boiling before at the same heat. So I'm going to leave it at the same heat, just like that. Then we're going to get over here.
It's not hardly on my eye.
Oh.
It's way.
Here you go. And now we're going to turn this back on. And we're going to start our fudge icing. So you have got the butter melted. You're going to add your cocoa and sugar after you whisk it together. You're going to add your evaporated milk. And it's a whole can of evaporated milk. And you're going to cook it to the softball stage. So I'm going to stir this. And you don't really want to stir it much because you don't want to get it up and around the edges of the pan. That's the good thing about putting the butter in there first, because it kind of butters the sides a little bit. All right. Now we're going to let this come to a boil. And we're going to cook it, like I said, until it gets to the softball stage. And I don't mean a softball that you throw outside. That's what it sounds like, ain't it? So you think that's in the way?
That handle's over the flame.
Put that there. All right, that's boiling again. Now we're going to go look back at the directions for this. Don't that look good? And see, it's kind of runny, which will run down in that cake, which is what you want. Okay, it says cook it for 5 minutes. And then you stir in the vanilla, the salt, and the pecans and pour it over the cake. Now, I've got everything in this but the vanilla. So we're good to go. We are doing it. I'm going to put a lid on this because if I do, it'll get hotter and boil quicker.
So you cook that for 5 minutes.
Yes.
And then add the pecans and the vanilla.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's all there is to it.
Gotcha.
And then in 5 minutes, if you start this about the same time, this should be at a softball stage by the end. Because once this starts boiling, you want to boil it about 3 minutes. Because it's not fudge, it's softball. Okay, so it's a icing.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, if you overcook it, it's still gonna be delicious because it's chocolate. You're just making sure to get all that sugar melted in there. But the marshmallows keep it from turning back to sugar, I believe. I'm sure they do. All right, let's get over here and put some more holes in our cake. And this is a cake mix, so of course it bowed up in the middle. If I had made my homemade cake, it would be flat as a flitter because my homemade cakes don't do that. And a lot of people want to know why their cakes do that. If you make a cake mix, it just does it, okay? If you're making a homemade cake, it could be that your oven's too hot. But with a cake mix, it's almost impossible to keep it from doing that. If you know a trick, you can let me know. But I think some people say if you put parchment paper around the edges, it keeps it from doing it. But I don't know that it works with a cake mix. I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it. That's probably a piece of coconut shell right there, that dark piece. All right, this is starting to boil. And once it starts to boil, let me show it to y'all. See that? It's going to start boiling. I'm gonna put a timer on 3 minutes. I don't tell you to do that on the thing. I just tell you to cook at the softball stage. But 3-minute timer is a good timer for like chocolate oatmeal cookies or icing and stuff like that. But it does have to be boiling all the way across. It's not quite boiling all the way across, but it's really close. So I think this has been cooking long enough. So we're going to bring this over here so y'all can see better. And I put a lot of holes in the cake.
You want me to come over there?
Yeah. You can stay on my right until well, no, you can stay there, I guess. I was going to pour it up, and you know I like for you to be on my right when I pour it up. Mm-hmm. You can move before then. All right. So now we got to put in our pecans. These are chopped pecans, and they're from Sunnyland Farms in Albany, Georgia. Put in a little vanilla, and this is Madagascar vanilla from Vanilla Bean Kings. They sent me vanilla this year at Christmas. Well, it was really after Christmas they sent it. It was a nice gift, and they sent me some vanilla beans. I need to make some homemade vanilla. I think Chris has some bourbon in there somewhere. We might make some good bourbon vanilla. Do you have any, Chris? Yeah. To make vanilla? We need to make us some good homemade vanilla with the vanilla beans they sent us.
Yeah.
Oh, this smells good, y'all.
Mm-hmm. You just eat that by the spoonful right there.
Now, I don't want this to go all around the cracks because there's a crack between the cake and the pan. I want it to mostly stay on the cake.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can get it to do that. And y'all let us know if y'all have made this. I mean, it is the bomb.
It's good stuff. Real.
And if you have a hard time making homemade German chocolate icing, because it's not the easiest to make with those eggs and stuff. If you overcook it, it separates and that kind of thing. This is easier, and it's going to give the same effect to make. Easier to make and the same effect as far as taste goes. It's going to be a lot like, you know, a homemade tasting German chocolate.
What's the best bourbon to use? We've never made homemade vanilla, so we really don't know.
Well, Chris has probably a brand that he likes the best. Do you have a brand
I don't know that it really matters. I mean, if you're making vanilla.
I don't think it. I think on the paperwork they sent me, they may have recommended. I don't know.
A certain kind.
Yeah. If y'all order you some vanilla beans from the Vanilla Bean King, I'd have to look at their paperwork and see if they recommend something. There's our timer. We need to go check our icing. All right, that looks good, don't it? Mm-hmm. It's boiling?
Yep, it's boiling. It's a rolling boil.
That's what you want it to do. All right, I'm going to test the temperature. Well, let's see if I give you a temperature. No. I don't think this thing works. I know this one does. One of them does and one of them don't. We're about to see which one does and which one don't. I think, I'm trying to remember what my temperature is. Y'all got to go back to my desserts to see. I'm going to wind up overcooking it. I should have looked this up already. 235-ish.
Is what?
Softball stage. Not quite there.
You're in the neighborhood.
Getting close, y'all. Now, you can use a candy thermometer all day long, but they do fog up. They are hard. For me, I have a hard time with them.
We need new thermometers. I need one for, one that has those.
Now, look, that one's going way up and this one's not. Mm-hmm. And that's because one was over the flame and one was not.
You got your...
If that makes sense.
No, that's hot.
Okay, I think it's hot enough. I think it's hot enough, y'all. And this is where the fun begins. I'm going to, you can let this cool before you pour it if you're afraid you're going to get burned. I'm going to use a scooper and do it. And we're just going to pour it over it, okay? While it's good and liquidy.
Won't it keep cooking while you're doing that?
It ain't gonna hurt nothing if it does. I mean, we're not going to use all of it. We'll eat, if it sets up at candy, we'll just have a few pieces of candy. Put some pecans in it. That's one thing about this recipe is it does make too much chocolate part, I think. You're not supposed to like cover it in the chocolate. I mean, I guess you could, but it wouldn't be as pretty if you did, because then you wouldn't see the coconut. Of course, the Mounds bar is covered in chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
You should bring them around this side so they can watch it pour. They can't see it pouring. Yummy. Yeah, if it starts setting up more like fudgy, you can always save it for ice cream. Put it in a jar, because all it is chocolate sauce. Look at it. It looks so good. It's like chocolate sauce. And so you can pour it up in a pint jar and use it on something else. Because to me, that's enough. What do you think, Chris? You want more?
Well, you know me.
I'll put some more around the edges.
Can't put too much chocolate on it for me.
I'll put some down in the cracks. If you're just tuning in, this is Collard Valley Cooks, and we specialize in cooking like Mama did. Cameraman is my husband, Chris, and my name is Tammy, and we have been on vacation. And boy, I have been wanting something sweet. We got home, y'all, and I got in this kitchen, and there wasn't nothing sweet. There wasn't even a cookie. And after being on vacation and having stuff, special stuff, I was very disappointed. And I was like, oh, what am I going to eat? And so we're going to make a banana split cake this week and this Mounds cake. And I'm going to have some dessert.
We're going to try not to starve to death.
Look at that, y'all. Mm-hmm. Don't that look delicious? Delicious. Let's dig into it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I got some chocolate sauce made. Let's pour it up in a jar. And then we'll cut us a piece. How's that?
Okay.
You think it's that much or more?
Oh, I have.
You think it's more than that?
No idea.
It might be more than that, but that's all we're going to save. We're going to save this much.
That's about right, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got a pretty good eyeball for things in the kitchen. Y'all want to see the bottom of this pan? You can see where it started cooking more around the edges. Me and Chris could still get a bite of that if we wanted it. But we got this cake to eat, so, we got something. Now I can put a lid on this, put this in the fridge, and we can have it with some ice cream. So if you have a little left over, don't get rid of it. Do something with it. Eat it. Eat it. Oh, that's a wide mouth jar. Lord. It's a little wide mouth jar, y'all. All right. Let's cut us a piece of cake. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I think I'm going to put this on a white piece. White. I went ahead and got 2 plates because me and Chris are both going to have a bite. Tell us what you've made sweet this week, or if you're going to make anything. And also, let me know if you've made this cake before, or if your mama made it. I know it used to be a big thing back in the day. Now everybody makes the earthquake cake. Lord, look at all that good stuff on there. What am I supposed to do with all that? Just put it on the plate? I guess. Come on, honey bunny. Looks good, don't it? Let's get this one out. It's always hardest to get the first one out, y'all. Then after that, it's a breeze. Looks good, don't it? It tastes like German chocolate, really. It's really, really good. Except it is a little more coconutty flavor to me than German chocolate. I guess just because, I don't know why, but it is. Let's take a bite. I forgot to put the vanilla in the icing, but y'all, it don't matter. It tastes so good.
Well, you put it in the coconut stuff.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely delicious. You definitely need some milk. It is rich. If you've got somebody that loves coconut, this is a great birthday cake to make them. This is a great cake to take to any function, whether it's church or a party or whatever. I mean, everybody's going to rave over it. It is so good. And it looks like you spent all this time on it. And I mean, you know, it takes a little extra time to do these homemade fillings and icings, but boy, are they worth it. As long as you got a non-stick pot like I have, and I showed you how to do it, you can do it. All right. We thank you for watching Collard Valley Cooks. And remember, if this is in our master cookbook, I believe it's recipe number 247 in our master cookbook. We'll see you next time on Collard Valley Cooks. Y'all come back and see us. Bye, y'all. Love ya.